The afternoon sunlight faded gently through the old window frame, casting a pale golden hue on the half-finished cup of tea. Mr. Nam, 50 years old, sat silently on a wooden chair in a tiny rented room just 15 square meters wide. The room was so quiet he could hear the ticking of the clock, counting every second of a life that had just veered off its course. 3 months ago, he was still the owner of a small wood workshop in Bin Duong, employing nearly 15 workers, with a pickup truck, a comfortable house, and a warm, happy family. But within just a few weeks, everything collapsed. Contracts were canceled due to his partner's bankruptcy. Bank loans came due, and arguments with his wife grew more and more heated. Eventually, his partner of over 20 years decided to leave, taking both of their children with her. With no home, no job, he moved into a cheap rental on the outskirts of the city, where life was counted by the day. Old friends were now distant and busy. Without a college degree or computer skills, Mr. Nam suddenly found himself left behind by the modern world. One evening, in heavy rain, he wandered the streets, shielding himself with an old newspaper. He was hungry, tired, and cold. He stopped in front of a small eatery, staring at a steaming bowl of noodles, but couldn't bring himself to go inside. He had exactly 17,000 in his pocket, not enough for a meal. At that moment, a thought crept into his mind. Maybe I should end it all here? But then he remembered his mother's words. People don't die when they lose everything. They die when they no longer want to live. He returned to his room, dried himself off, and pulled out an old notebook he used to track debts at his woodshop. On the first blank page, with shaky hands, he scribbled, Day 1, starting over, with nothing left. Just 2 years ago, many still considered Mr. Nam a successful, small business owner. Though his workshop wasn't large, it consistently received orders from furniture dealers in the city. His income was decent, his employees respected him, and he had a happy family. That was when Mr. Nam felt life was settled, with no need for further dreams. But the beginning of his fall came from a decision he thought was a big step forward. An old friend invited him to invest in expanding the business to export furniture to Europe. They painted a vision of doubling profits in a year. Trusting his friend and wanting to leave something for his children, Mr. Nam mortgaged his house and took out a loan, putting everything he had into the venture. Within 6 months, the orders never came. The friend disappeared. Workers gradually quit due to unpaid wages. Debts piled up. At the same time, his wife, already weary after years of sacrifice, gave up. The divorce was swift, leaving him alone with nearly 800 million in debt and nowhere to live. He tried asking old contacts for work, but they all declined, apologetically. You're too old, uncle. We don't know where we could place you. Sinking deeper, he lost interest in eating, bathing. Some days he only drank water and lay alone on the floor, listening to dogs barking outside, feeling hollow inside. One night, he walked to the canal, once a park where he used to take his kids. Cold wind slipped through his thin collar. As he looked at the dark, silent water, Mr. Nam seriously considered not coming back. But in that deep darkness, he suddenly heard echoes of children's laughter. His daughter's voice, Daddy, play on the merry-go-round with me. A single tear slid down his cheek. No, he couldn't give up. Not while memories still remained. Not while these calloused hands could still begin again. After that night, Mr. Nam decided to stop waiting for a miracle. No job, no degree, no capital. He asked himself, what do I still have to start over with? The answer came from something completely unexpected, a piece of candied ginger. The next morning, searching through an old jacket pocket, he found a small pack of candied ginger, gifted by an elderly neighbor a few days prior. The sweet, spicy taste melted on his tongue and pulled him back to childhood memories. His mother, frail and thin, sitting by the fire making candied ginger. He remembered every step vividly, peeling ginger, simmering it in sugar, sun-drying it. A thought flickered like a faint light. What if I try making ginger candy like Mom used to? With no cookware, he borrowed the landlord's stove, collected ginger bit by bit from the local wholesale market. He failed and tried again. Burnt sugar, too hard, too soft. He kept experimenting for a week until he finally recreated the taste he remembered. He packed a few small jars and gave them to neighbors as a kind gesture. Surprisingly, some came back to buy more. Then 1, 2, 10 people, word spread. He began receiving phone orders. A student from the same boarding house helped him take photos and post them on Facebook. A week later, his first official transfer order came in. 5 jars of ginger candy delivered to the door. And so, little by little, the brand Old House Memories was born. Not through a business plan or flashy ads, but with one pair of hands and a warm memory. Every batch he made carried a handwritten note. A little taste of the past, spicy to warm your heart, sweet to help you move forward. No words were needed. Customers could feel the love in every piece of candy. And that's something money can't buy. 2 years after starting again from that first pack of candy, Mr. Nam was no longer the man who failed at 50. His Old House Memories brand was now sold on several e-commerce platforms and in local specialty stores. He still lived simply in a small rental house, still peeled every piece of ginger and shredded each coconut himself. But now, he had 3 older companions working with him, people once left behind by life just like him. The revenue wasn't in the millions, but it was steady, sustainable, and full of love. More important, he had rediscovered a sense of purpose, doing what he loved and bringing real value to others. When someone asked, "If you could start over, would you choose a different path?" he simply smiled and replied, "No, because only through that fall did I learn what it means to rise again with my own hands." Life is not a straight line. Some reach the finish line early, some wander long before finding the light. But what matters isn't where you are, it's whether you dare to keep going. Mr. Nam started over at 50, an age when many think it's too late. But it was his courage to face failure, to learn again from scratch, and to believe in something small yet genuine that helped him go farther than he ever imagined. It's never too late to start again. All you need is the will to live a life that matters. His story is not just about candy, it's about belief in yourself,